What's up, gamers? So I'm sure that a lot of you know that Topaz is coming out in a few days, leaving you with a tough choice being if you should go for Topaz or Seele. Well, I made a video about everything you need to know about Topaz, so watch that if you want to know more about her kit and playstyle to help you with your choice. But since you clicked this video for Seele, I'm assuming you already know what Topaz does, and now you want to know if Seele is still meta with all these characters that have already come out. So since I hate long intros, and I know you probably do too, let's get straight into the video. So Seele was the first 5-star banner character in Honkai Star Rail. I personally thought that it would be great to pull for Seele when she first came out because, number one, I thought that her playstyle was just super fun. I liked her kit and her design. And number two, I thought that she wouldn't be rerunning in a very long time. So having her on my account would make me feel special. But I totally forgot that I was playing Honkai Star Rail, not Genshin. So I should have known that they weren't gonna pull a Eula with Seele. Now, Seele is still a meta character. She works well with a lot of characters in the game, and she does a lot of damage. Now, I'm gonna save you some time and just let you know straight up. Seele is still a meta character. She works well with a lot of characters in the game and does a lot of damage. If that's all you needed to know to help with your decision, then you can click off this video. But if you wanted to know more, just know she's capable of beating the hardest content in the game, and this is a thing with all the DPS characters that come out. No matter what DPS comes out, or if they're stronger than the other, you will definitely still be able to clear the hardest content in the game. That being Swarm Disaster or MOC. It really doesn't matter. So when pulling for DPS, always consider these two things. Do you like the character, and do you like their playstyle? In Seele's case, her main source of damage is her skill and her ultimate. One thing to note when playing Seele is that she isn't too skill point efficient, because when you use her skill on the enemy, it does quantum damage, and when you kill an enemy, she actually gets to attack again. She gets a 70% attack buff when she kills an enemy and gets into her resurgence state. And the reason I say she isn't too skill point efficient is because when she's in this state, you will almost want to always use her skill, or in some cases always use her skill. Well, of course there are gonna be times when you won't need to do her skill, and you might just need to use her basic attack to kill an enemy to get back into the buff state again. But since most of us are in endgame content, using her skill is almost a must. She's actually found herself in a new meta team, which would be a mono quantum team. I actually don't play this team because I don't have Fush 1, since I'm just a casual FTP gamer and wasn't able to hit pity on her banner. Yeah, I definitely wasn't able to hit pity on her banner. That team can dish out so much damage, and it's kind of free-to-play friendly. You just need Fush 1, Seele, Lynx, and another quantum character of your choice. Most people go for QQ, I think that's how you say her name, QQ, or another quantum character. It really doesn't matter. But Seele herself is also very free-to-play friendly. She's usually run in a hypercarry team, which would be Seele, Tingyun, Pella, and a healer. But sometimes you'd actually see Whales playing this team. That's just sometimes. Most times, they would replace Pella with Bronya. Seele has so many different teams you can play her in because she's literally just that flexible. Another team you can run her in is Seele, Silverwolf, Tingyun, and Bronya. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Oh my gosh, it's another hypercarry team. When is it ever gonna stop? Listen, this team helps Seele do so much damage, and she takes so many turns. Just add her resurgence proc, and then add Tingyun's ult and skill, her skill giving damage buff and her ult giving energy, and this energy could potentially give Seele her burst and possibly get a kill, so she can take another turn, and then after that you can add Silverwolf's debuff for more damage when she takes a turn, and after she takes a turn, you can use Bronya's skill to buff her to make her move again and do so much damage. But Silverwolf isn't a must, so you can slide Luocha in there if you need some healing. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but as more characters came out, like Silverwolf and Luocha, Seele just keeps getting better and better. The only drawback you will notice with Seele, other than the fact she's very skill point negative, is the fact that she only does damage. Now, to other players, that's not a bad thing because, well, that's her job as a main DPS, and you know, that's fair. But to other people, they might want her to do more than just damage. Now you can see where both sides are coming from, but you also need to think about the other main DPS characters. For example, Jingliu. Sure, she does a lot of damage, but she also takes a portion of her teammates' HP. Think about Blade. He does a lot of damage, but drains his own HP. So Seele might do a lot of damage and not do anything more than that, but to all the players out there that want her to do more than just damage, look on the bright side. At least she doesn't hurt herself or the team, just the enemy, and I would like to keep it that way. If you've made it this far into the video, good job. I'm a small creator, so making it this far into the video really helps me a lot. But thank you for supporting my channel, and please like the video and subscribe if you think I'm worth your subscription. Anyway, let's get back into the video. Now you might be thinking to yourself that she might be good and all, but is she easy to build? And oh boy, do I have an answer for you. Also, don't ask how I knew you were thinking about that. I'm just smart like that. Her best artifact set, Genius of Brilliant Stars, gives her 10% quantum damage in the 2-piece, which is pretty standard. But the 4-piece is kinda broken. The 4-piece set makes it so that Seele ignores 10% of the enemy's defense. So that's already a 20% damage increase. But there's more. If the enemy has quantum weakness, she ignores 10% of their defense. So if you use this set on Seele and the enemy has quantum weakness, that's a 30% damage bonus from just this set alone. And if you're still on the fence of pulling for Seele, just know if the enemy in MOC has quantum weakness, putting Seele in that half can make the enemy look like a piece of cake. Only if your Seele has the right build though. Speaking of builds, just use this set, look for speed, attack, crit rate, crit damage, and quantum damage bonus, and you're fine. If you have been playing Honkai or Genshin for a while now, you already know how most DPS characters' builds should go. This shouldn't be too surprising. Let's move on to our light cones. We all know that Seele is a hunt character, and thank god she has a free 5-star weapon that's almost as good as her signature. This weapon gives crit rate, more crit rate, and a lot of attack when you defeat an enemy. This is great because Seele is going to go into a resurgence state when she defeats an enemy. And with this light cone, after defeating an enemy, you get 40% attack. So it just gives her 40% more attack, which adds into her 70% attack she gets from her resurgence states. So Seele is getting a lot of buffs from this light cone, teams, and artifact sets. She came out when the game first released and has already gotten better as more characters released, which already shows how future-proof she is. If some people say she's mid, don't listen to them. Go for who you like. If you want to know more about Topaz though, check out my video on her. I fill you in on everything you need to know about Topaz in just under 5 minutes. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.